Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review for April 4th, 2016, the post-Wrestlemania Raw. The best Raw of the year, 90% of the time. Vince opens the show, and he talks about what Shane did. He talks about how far Shane went to prove how much the WWE meant to him, and when he jumped off the cage, Vince didn't want him to do it, and when he did it, it showed that Shane was willing to literally end his life for the company. And it said he said that he got more respect for Shane, but it proves just how foolish Shane is when it comes to things. He says he will never. He then says that we will never forget tonight's Raw. Shane then comes out, and he's like, I'm the only man in this family, so I'm coming out here to shake your hands and say, you beat me. And then he says goodbye to all the fans, he thanks them for all the love that he's been getting over the past few weeks, and then he goes to, he turns around, says goodbye, and leaves. And Vince stops him, and the chants throughout the arena start saying, let him run it. And it goes on for about 2 minutes, and Vince is like, you know what? Let's see what you got. Shane McMahon gets to run Monday Night Raw for just tonight. Maybe it'll, because tonight's Raw was good. The next part is pretty cool. But, yeah. Shane got to run Raw. The New Day come out, and they face the League of Nations in a tag team title match. I still don't care about this feud, but it ends pretty cool. Big E launched Kofi over the top ropes onto Sheamus. King Barrett starts a wave standing on the apron. Big E gives Barrett 3 belly-to-bellies and then a frog splash, and the New Day win. Sheamus then grabs a mic. He says that the League of Nations are the best athletes from across the world, and that they're only, and they should be beating everybody according to him. And then they say that they are only as strong as their weakest link. Del Rio and Rusev then grab King Barrett, and Sheamus hits King Barrett with a brogue kick. The Wyatts then come out and attack and beat down the League of Nations. And then Sheamus gets his sister Abigail. King Barrett has been kicked out of the League of Nations. Good. Kick them all out. The League of Nations fucking suck. No one wants them. Summer Rae comes out for some reason and complains about last night, how they lost. Then she calls out Sasha Banks, says, like, at least didn't end up on my back like Sasha Banks, even though Sasha Banks didn't end up on her back. Becky tapped, not Sasha. Sasha then comes out, Summer Rae versus Sasha. Who cares, really? Sasha wins with the big statement in like 3 minutes. Then Apollo Crews makes his Raw debut against Tyler Breeze. Apollo starts off with a very nice slam to Tyler Breeze. Breeze kicks Apollo in the face and gets a 2 count. Apollo then hits a spinning powerbomb for the win. Wasn't that long of a match, but Apollo Crews is here. There's 2 more NXT debuts that happened on Raw, and then on SmackDown, the Vaudevillains will be debuting. Roman Reigns comes out. Nobody likes Roman Reigns. He comes out and he says that they're booing. He's like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy either. I'm the guy. And he's being all cocky about how he's the champion. And they're slowly turning him not face. He's not going full heel yet, but he's getting more cocky and not caring that he's getting booed, which is good. He says, I'm a fighting champion. Shane McMahon, he's like, I told Shane McMahon that I'm coming out here, and I'm going to invite anyone who wants to come down and fight for this championship. They can come in this ring and get an ass whooping. Chris Jericho comes out and says that he's the best in the world at what he does. Nobody can compare to him. Not Roman Reigns and not AJ Styles. And then he brings up how he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and he demands that Roman puts him at the front of the line and makes him the number one contender. AJ Styles then comes out. As AJ Styles makes it to the ring, Kevin Owens comes out. As Kevin Owens makes it down to the ring, Sami Zayn comes out. And then there's an all-out brawl. Owens and Sami go at it. AJ and Chris go at it. And then Roman ends it with a spear to Chris Jericho. And Shane makes a fatal four-way number one contenders match for the main event, including Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Baron Corbin makes his Raw debut. We saw this coming because he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal last night. Well, not last night, on Sunday. He fights Dolph Ziggler. He says that he does not care if no one knows him. He's here to win. He manhandles Dolph and completely destroys him. Dolph plants Corbin with a face first into the ground. 1, 2, Baron Corbin kicks out. Dolph hits a famouser. 1, 2, Corbin kicks out. Baron Corbin then hits deep 6. 1, 2, Dolph Ziggler kicks out. Corbin hits a big boot on Ziggler, sending him into the crowd. And then Corbin then follows him, and they fight in the crowd. And there's a double count out. Baron Corbin gets pissed off. He says, "You can't do that to me. That's not how we do things here." And then he hits End of Days to Dolph Ziggler on the floor. So that was pretty cool. Zack Ryder comes out and talks about his win. He thanks his dad. He thanks the fans. He's like, you deserve it, chance start. Miz then comes out and says that Zack ruined his WrestleMania moment, and says that if you're such a champion, if you don't think that last night was a fluke, why don't you put your title on line against me? And Zack Ryder does. I'll be honest, I love them both. Don't care about this match. Zack Ryder versus The Miz in an Intercontinental Championship match. There's very many false finishes. Ryder hits an elbow drop. 1, 2, Miz kicks out. Miz gets in Zack's dad's face, who's sitting in the front crowd, and Miz gets shoved down onto the floor. Maurice, Miz's wife, then jumps the barricade and gets in Zack's dad's face and slaps him, and Zack Ryder was distracted by this, and Miz hits skull-crushing finale. 1, 2, 3. The winner and new Intercontinental Champion, The Miz. He beat Zack Ryder after one day. But on SmackDown, there's a rematch. Maybe he'll get it back. Don't know. I'd like to see him get it back. The WWE Women's Title Coronation Celebration thing. Lita is standing in the ring with all the divas and the title. And then she brings out Charlotte. And Charlotte says that she thanks the fans. She thanks the women she's standing in the ring with. And she says that because of everything they've done, the fans and the women, that they have this new women's title, and women's wrestling is finally a thing again. Women's wrestling chants then start. She thanks Ric Flair for helping her win last night, and the Divas get pissed off, and they leave the ring. Natalya then grabs a mic and says that you may be the champion, but I have a heart of a champion. Charlotte says that her family will always be better than Natalya's family. And Natalya puts Charlotte in the sharpshooter, and Rick pulls Charlotte out of the ring. And that's the end of that segment. Probably going to fight for the title again. I don't know. The Usos versus the Dudleys. Didn't care about this match, but we'll go over it anyway because something important happens. It was a tables match. I don't really care. Bubba, he's like, Devon, and instead of saying get the tables, if you watch the Hall of Fame, Devon was talking, and Bubba was like, no, you just say testify. And Devon was like, you know what? get your own damn tables. And Bubba, he instead of saying get the tables, he's like, you know what? Screw you. He gets out of the ring and goes and gets his own damn table. And then they set up the tables, and then they get double super kicked, which isn't fun, I guess. The Usos then go for double splashes onto the tables. The Dudleys move. The Usos put themselves through the tables, which technically, according to the rules, I guess, like, I thought you just had to go through a table. I didn't know you had to be put through a table. I just thought if you go through a table, you lose. But they ring the bell, and they say the Dudleys win, and the Dudleys get pissed off, and then they slam the Usos through the tables, and they're like, then we win. Now we win. You don't ring the bell early. And they get pissed off, and they throw a tantrum, and like they just start yelling at people, and then it goes to commercial break, and it comes back, and they're still yelling at people. And they walk up the ramp, and then Enzo and Cass come out, and they make their Raw debut. This was the third and final Raw NXT debut. Enzo says that the Dudleys are jealous and ugly. The Dudleys walk down to the ring, and then they get up on the apron, and they leave, and then Cass spells it out for them, and Dudleys are now soft. And that was the last segment before the Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match. Now, earlier on in the show, Kevin Owens attacked Sami Zayn from behind backstage, and right before the match, it's stated that Sami Zayn will not be able to compete in tonight's Fatal 4-Way, but it will still be a Fatal 4-Way. So everybody comes down. AJ Styles comes first, Chris Jericho second, Kevin Owens then third. And they announced that Sami Zayn's not going to come. And Lillian Garcia's like, and replacing Sami Zayn is Cesaro. A returning Cesaro replaces Sami Zayn in the main event for the number 1 contenders match against Roman Reigns' WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It was pretty badass. The way he came out in his suit. He came out with sunglasses on, his suit, dress pants. He just rips it off, and he's wearing the tights. It was really cool. AJ and Cesaro share a moment in the ring. Crowd goes wild, and then they just start beating shit out of each other. Owens tries to do the swing on Cesaro, which you don't swing another man who does the swing. Cesaro powerbombs Owens and Jericho while they superplex AJ, so it was pretty cool. Cannonball to Jericho, uppercut to AJ, 1, 2, AJ kicks out. Cesaro hits a crossbody on AJ, 1, 2, AJ kicks out. Cesaro puts Kevin Owens and AJ in the corners and does the uppercuts, and then Chris Jericho comes in and he gets put in a corner and a 3-way corner uppercut. Jericho then goes swinging, and that is broken up by Kevin Owens. AJ gets hit with a pop-up powerbomb. 1, 2, AJ kicks out. Kevin Owens gets hit with a code breaker. 1, 2, Kevin Owens kicks out. Cesaro gets put in the walls. Cesaro then somehow reverses that into a sharpshooter, which AJ, as Cesaro has the sharpshooter and AJ hits the phenomenal forearm on Cesaro. AJ then gets hit by the code breaker, only a 2 count. Styles then hits a Styles Clash on Chris Jericho, 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles is the new WWE number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is a fucking amazing. Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles is going to absolutely be amazing. If you want to make Roman a heel, you put him against AJ Styles, one of the most over guys on the roster. You put him against him. Roman Reigns, I definitely see Roman Reigns turning heel now. Why would you have a face versus a face, and the face is going to be, one of the faces is definitely going to get booed. So I don't know. I love it. AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. I assume I may happen to payback. I don't know. Extreme Rules. I don't know. Maybe it'll happen on Raw. But that is where we sit. AJ Styles is the number one contender for Roman Reigns' WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I want Shane to run Raw more often. That's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Camp Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.